Internet, what is up? It's Weapons Free Wednesday 62, people. But before we get to that, let's get business out of the way. This next episode of the podcast is brought to you by Unity Tactical. Unity Tactical, they're great friends of ours. They make cutting edge weapons accessories, and they're industry leaders, particularly in the category of switchology. And what is switchology, in case you're wondering? So, weapon illumination needs, your visible white light, and your IR illuminator and laser. They make amazing switches for that do a wide variety of things, and they have all things from your simple just one button, one cable, all the way up to two buttons and three cables. So they make all of the great ways to connect to a weapon system and to run your illumination needs. So you can run your white light, you can do vis override, which is basically running your visible laser and your white light at the same time. They came up with a new product called the gas cap, which is a clicky tail cap for the back of your weapon light that incorporates their new sync technology with the new link system that's got a USB-C cable adapter. Okay, they're the first ones to branch out and use USB-C in a capacity for weapons illumination. So they have amazing products. We're excited to be working with them. We're excited to be seeing what they're doing in terms of product innovation in that particular category. They also have a wide variety of other things. They have great merchandise. They're a cool brand. So they've got some great T-shirts and stickers and hoodies. And they also have other products as well. They've got fast optic mounts. They've got helmet nod shrouds to mount your night vision goggles on. And they've got a variety of other weapons accessories. Go check them out at unitytactical.com or on the gram at unitytactical. Okay, people, let's get after it. Let's fucking G-O.
Cause I'm so fucking good! Get some, baby! Get some! Get some! Get some! Get some! Get some! Come on! Get in! Come on! Get some! Get some! Yeah! 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 I got you, mother. Ha ha!
Do. Okay. We are, in fact, back. Cheers.
Ding.
This week we decided to do something a little bit different. I mixed the green sherry, the green dragon
How dare you?
sherry with some passion fruit juice, and it's actually like pretty fucking good.
A potent little cocktail over there.
Yeah. You fucked us by drinking all the ginger ale, so I couldn't do my usual like ginger and fucking whatever. I mean, I'm a big ginger and JMO guy, but I was excited because I'm like, you know what? I've been drinking the Green Dragon straight for the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to try it mixed with something. And I was excited about the fact that we had ginger ale and then
I drank it.
all of it. So I had to resort to juice, which actually turned out good. It's actually pretty fucking good. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great week out there. It's Weapons Free Wednesday. It's hump day. Happy hump day to everybody. I hope this helps with the hump. Helps you hump over the hump. Weapons Free Wednesday, humping over the hump.
Get you over the hump.
Get you over the hump.
It's almost the weekend. It's okay.
It is. Well, we had a good little range sesh today, did we not?
Yeah.
Went out, shot some pistol, re-zeroed my gunslinging pistol, my Zevo Z9, because my RMR battery finally shit the bed.
I mean, it was funny that you had replaced yours, and then we get to the range, and our little minion was like, I finally replaced it for the first time since I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, has it been 2.5 years? And he was like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the battery life on RMRs is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's great. But yeah, mine finally shit the bed, had to change it. And then what was really cool that I thought was awesome is like, pulled the optic off, swapped the battery out, put the optic back on, torqued it to 15 inch-pounds if anybody's interested, and then went to the range and shot. And my first string, like, I was literally like 1 inch right. So all I had to do was like come back a few clicks left,
Yep.
and it was fucking dead nuts.
No, I think the Zev plates, the Zev cuts specifically on the Glock are pretty good about that because they have those two posts that
stick
fit
up, yeah.
into the little holes in the RMR.
Yeah.
And I think it helps return to zero when you swap batteries for sure.
Weren't you saying though that the RCR, the new RCR, doesn't?
Yeah, the new enclosed RCRs will not work on Zev slides
That's fucking horseshit.
because of the posts.
I don't understand why. So, what's different about that design from the RMR to the RCR that won't allow that to happen?
The RMR has the normal screws
Yeah.
that go down, and then the closed one, you can't have screws go through a closed emitter. So they always have to attach via acro, like the sideways clamp.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one, they have screws that go down, but you have to use those weird Allen keys to rotate the screws. They're piano screws, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no.
So no, those screws don't work with the posts on the...
Does the hollow suns work with the posts or no?
Yes.
Of course they do. Fucking goddamn Trigicon. Why the fuck can't they fucking just get shit right?
Well,
Okay, this is why the Chinese Communist Party fucking continues to sell a shit ton of goddamn optics to everyone. One, Americans are fucking cheap, but two, the Chinese are just listening to people and doing the design things that they need to do to make things work the way they should work.
And we did. We met up with several people that are going through the Wyoming Academy.
Yeah.
And they had issued Glock 19 Gen 5s
Yep.
with hollow suns on them. And
Yeah.
that was the gun that the department gave them.
Yeah, so we have police departments that are too cheap to fucking buy American products. People, what is wrong with our country? You're just a bunch of sellout motherfuckers. Stop selling out, okay? Buy quality American-made products. I can't tell. I'm just
I
gonna
don't know.
keep
I
saying
feel
it.
like, but it's cheaper. And it's like, well, if you can have the discipline to save up $300 for a hollow sun, like you could save up $200 more for a Trigicon product
Right.
or an Aimpoint product.
Correct.
But I've been broke. I understand.
Yeah, I've been broke as shit too. I understand.
But that
Well-
doesn't mean you have to sell it on your morals.
No.
And like, it's not better. Like,
No.
I looked through both of those hollow suns, and it was all fun.
Yeah, those reticles were doing some weird shit.
Just the glass, you're like moving the target to the upper left corner, and you're moving your head behind it, and you're like, why does it look like video games are supposed to when you're on drugs?
Yeah.
It's like the bad representation of an acid trip. Mm-hmm. And it was like doing weird things. Yeah.
It was doing.
And then they both shot my Trigicon and was like, oh yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, they shot the SRO and they were
I was
like, oh.
dude, come on.
Well, they also shot a full-size 17, which I think makes a difference. I don't know why you're issuing police officers, patrol officers, whose pistol is their primary fucking weapon system. Grown-ass men, I don't know why you're issuing them a 19. A 19 is a compact pistol. It's for fucking concealment. I don't know why a department would issue 19s to fucking street cops that are going to be...
Like, was it an option?
I don't know.
Like, we don't know if it was an option, and then they all picked 19 so that they could have a concealed gun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because the lights were also short.
Yeah.
So,
Our minion was fucking shooting amazing. Our little
Yeah.
pupil. He's come up. He was doing some funny, fucking awesome shit.
he's learned some lessons.
He has learned some lessons.
Yeah.
He's doing some fucking good shit. Shout out to our fucking minion, old DT.
Yeah.
Old Delta Tango. We're proud of you, buddy. If you're listening to this, we're fucking proud of you.
Good job.
We're going to continue to mold you and train you and fucking develop you. And you're going to be the most elite fucking game and fish officer in the state of Wyoming.
No. The most overqualified driving, boating under the influence ticket officer.
Did you see? Yeah, right. Did you see? He doesn't want to do that shit. Did
No.
you see him fucking shooting? He's out shooting both of those fucking cops today, though.
Yeah.
Because he was with. So our guy is going to be a game and fish dude, and the other he's going to be a game and fish cop. The other two were like going to be like Jackson whole police officers.
And they're all going through the academy at the same time.
Yeah.
Same class.
And I thought that they all shot well. Like they were all shooting good. Like, and I even commented like, whoever's training them at the academy, my hats off to the firearms instructors at the academy that are like, that are teaching, because I could tell their weapons mechanics, their draw stroke, their presentation, and their recoil management was all really fucking good. All of them shot well, but TC, we're gonna have to bleep that. Fucking
Who cares?
was fucking shooting fucking really good. I was proud of him. It was nice to go out there and see our fucking prodigy like blasting away, and he was shooting really good.
And he says it's a great program, and he's really enjoying it.
Yeah, he was hitting the hostage steal
Oh,
consistently.
he was hit. Yep, at like 30.
At 30 yards. So the hostage plate. So it's like a full size IPSC like torso, but then it's got this little
The
like,
head swinger.
Yeah, it's got the head swinger behind it. So like the 6-inch plate that like swings back and forth over shoulder to shoulder. He was just at 30 yards.
Dink,
he was just
dink,
banging
dink.
that fucker with a Glock 19 with a dot on it. He had an RMR on his gun because he knows what's up.
That's also his personal gun.
Yeah, but it's set up exactly how his issue
Yeah.
pistol would be. Yeah. Yeah. So,
No, it was good.
yeah, great little range sesh. Things went our way, and our buddy was like, "Hey, I just got this new 7.62 ADM, 308 ADM. You should shoot it." And so We're going to put that thing through its paces. Why are we getting feedback?
Who's getting a phone call?
Is that happening right now? 1 second, people. Nope. Okay, everything's good. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to put my phone just in airplane mode just to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, you know when you get the static in the line
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, someone's about to call me.
Yeah, or I'm like, the Hellfire's about to hit the house.
Yeah. Little Ginsu knife comes through the roof. Give the sushi Hellfire.
Yeah, the sushi Hellfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so range day was good. I'm glad that, like, I always love a range day where I don't go out and have other problems pop up, that unforeseen shit pop up that I didn't see coming, like just weird shit with
Nothing broke. No one else was there.
Yeah, there was no like there was almost optics dyslexia today. I almost fucked up when I adjusted my first string. I like went the wrong direction.
That happens.
Mainly because I didn't have my glasses with me, and the fucking print on the RMRs are really super small, and so I think I was just like, oh, this is the way it goes, and then I adjusted a few clicks the wrong way and realized it immediately after shooting my first string. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll just go double back the other way. Boom. And it was right on the money. Like, I literally made 2 adjustments. And I only would have made 1 adjustment had I not fucked up, and I would have, like, adjusted the turret the right way. But I'm an old man now, and I'm blind as fuck, and I can't read the fine print on the turret, so I went the wrong way.
Speaking of old men, the poor range master having to deal with all that snow.
Oh, yeah. So Jim, the range master at our local range, he's a fantastic dude. He's a retired cop, too. Dude is funny as shit. He's an awesome guy. But he just, like, dealing with the amount of snow that he's had to deal with, because we got hit with a storm last week, and it dumped.
It was like 51 inches in 3 days or something.
Yeah.
With 31 of them overnight, over one day.
31 inches in one day, and then 50-some inches over 3 days.
He's like, some asshole shot the 600-yard target down, and I'm not going up that hill. My old ass can't get up there.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
I mean, but here's the thing. I didn't say this, but I wanted to say this.
It's like you could fix the 200.
Right.
And the 300.
Right. All this, here's, okay, so the range master Jim, who's a great fucking dude. Awesome guy. We love him. But he's also a crotchety old fucking retired cop, and he was just like, the steel on the range is all fucked up. Like, the shit's like hanging the steel targets are falling the fuck down at every yard line. And it's because it snowed so much, he can't, I mean, he could, if he got on a pair of skis and skied out, like, he put some skins on, he could get out to him, or if he snowshoed, he was definitely like, can't get the four-wheeler gets stuck, it's high-centered, can't get out to that fucker, I'm not walking my ass all the way out there. And I get it, because the terrain just goes, it's nasty. It goes up the mountain.
It's like a 50 degrees.
Yeah, the fucking yard lines go way out the mountain, up the mountain. They go up the mountain. So it's not a flat range by any stretch. So our known distance steel goes, it goes out to 600, and it goes up the fuck, like every yard line goes up, is gaining elevation. So in waist deep snow, going up from 10 to 50 degrees, I don't fucking blame him for being like, I'm not walking out there in that shit. I get it. However, it is Jackson Hole, and that range does not suffer from a lack of funding.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm like, why the fuck don't you have a snow machine?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't you have a sled?
Just a brap.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had a snow machine, it'd be no issue.
Mm-hmm.
You could fucking...
Well, to like 5. His old ass can't get up the hill on a snow machine.
I mean, yeah, the 600-yard target goes fucking up hard, like 50-degree angle, up the side of the mountain. It's not vertical, but it's scary. So I get it. But, yeah. The great facility. I like having access to it. The shooting today was fun. We got to go watch our minion and these cops. I walked out and I'm like, oh, just see if my tax dollars are well spent. And they all started laughing. They're shooting good. So,
and it was. I think it was well spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time.
And it's always good to make friends with the next generation of PD.
Yeah. Yeah, I support police as long as you're not the fucking 10% of fucking dipshit police that, like, get startled by an acorn hitting the fucking hood of your car and you empty a magazine into your own fucking car. Jesus goddamn Christ.
Our town is small enough where if you're friends with the PD, they'll give you a little, like, heads up or text before you get towed or get a ticket. You know? If you're, like, parked on the square for a little longer than 3 hours.
Yeah. Correct.
They're a little more lenient.
Yeah. If they know you, you're the
Yeah, we used to throw snowballs at the PD.
Yeah.
Like off the balcony at High Country.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like Bill, he'd come into the shop and talk shop, right, and pick up whatever, and then go back to his car, and we'd throw snowballs at him from the roof, and everyone's like, "Are you allowed to do that?" I'm like, "We are."
We are. You're not.
You're not.
You get arrested for that shit. Going to fucking jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Throw snowball at officer, straight to jail. Drops an acorn, straight to jail.
God. The memes that were made because of that incident were fucking awesome. And for my international people that probably are like, what the fuck is he talking about right now? For all my Aussies and UK and Canadian people, if you missed it on Instagram, there was footage of a police officer that arrested an individual for something. I don't know what it was. Put him in the back of his car. Now keep in mind, this dude's in handcuffs. This is why the whole thing is just like, this guy is a fucking dumbass. Police officer puts this guy in cuffs, puts him in the back of his car, is walking, or after he puts this dude in the back of his car, is walking around the back of the vehicle, and an acorn falls off the tree that he's parked under, hits the roof of his car and makes a toot sound. He thinks in his mind that somehow this fucking poor asshole that he just arrested and should have searched prior to putting him in fucking handcuffs and putting him in frisked him and searched him properly, he thinks in his mind that he's being shot. This guy has picked his cuffs, bypassed his cuffs,
got a weapon,
drawn a weapon, and is shooting at him from inside his car. That's what he said he thought happened when they interviewed him after. So this motherfucker, Acorn, hits his car. He starts screaming into the radio, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired, oh my God, ah! And fucking, yeah, pop, 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 draws, runs behind of another parked car, fucking empties his magazine. And
the whole mag.
Empties the whole mag.
Slide lock.
And I think, didn't it, at some point he said he was hit? I think at some point he was screaming that he was hit too.
Who cares?
Anyway, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. These are the reasons people don't trust cops, is because of those 10% motherfuckers right there.
Yep.
People do not trust cops because of the 10%. Like cops that are out there. And
is it a fault of the officer at that point, or is it a fault of the department for lack of training or for hiring that person? Right?
I mean, I don't think anybody could have, I don't think any hiring process could have weeded out
You don't think Buds would have weeded that dude out?
Well, Buds would, but that Bud fucking police don't go through Buds. So that's not an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah, but officers should have their own
Oh, I know. I think
process that's longer than what it is. That's more funded than what it is.
Yep, I think cops should be way more highly trained individuals and should be way more stringently selected. And they should take way more time to do that. But that's not the world we live in. So,
right. What was Monique saying? I just get to go to all the schools that every patrol officer should be going through anyway.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get to her in a second. She's going to be a topic of conversation. But that cop freaked out and shot.
Emptied a mag into a car.
He emptied a mag into his own car.
And no one got hit.
And no one got hit. That was the thing too, is the poor fucker
He's lucky that no one got hit.
Right. Oh yeah, can you imagine if he would have killed the dude that's in cuffs?
Unarmed in the car.
Unarmed in cuffs in the back of the car?
Yep.
He would have went to jail and got ass raped for the rest of his life.
Oh dude, he'd be shitting pancakes forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yep. So that's what happened. So that's what, in reference to what we're talking shit about right now to all my international people out there. Yeah. So back to the Monique thing. Shout out to our good friend Monique, who's been on the podcast.
Yep.
And what's her name? Like Hot Girl 69 or something like that.
Hot Girl 69 420.
Yeah, something like that. That's her. What's her handle?
Yeah, go send her all the dick pics.
Yeah, correct. She loves dick pics. Fellas, if you're so inclined, send her all the dick pics.
It's the Hot Girl.
Hawk. Not hot.
HAWK.
HAWK, Hot Girl. Shout out to Hot Girl. Yeah, we love some Monique. She sent me a message and was like, "You stupid motherfucker." Because shout out to all the ladies. Okay, we're just gonna do a follow up from International Women's Day. Okay, shout out to all the ladies. You're loved, you're respected, you're appreciated. I see all of you. You're fucking awesome. I decided to do little shout outs on Instagram for those of you that follow me on Instagram. I was giving shout outs and tagging all the women that I think are absolutely amazing, all the guests, female guests that we've had on the podcast, and women that I'm friends with, my lovely and talented girlfriend, Kate. Like, I gave shout-outs to everybody. And I told you during the course of the day, I'm like, watch, I'm going to fucking forget somebody.
Yep.
And I'm going to get my ass chewed.
Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot Monique. And she sent me a message, and she was like, nice fuckface. And I was like, oh, God. So I did what I will do when I am confronted with a wrongdoing. I will immediately apologize and make it right. So I made it right, and I posted her up, and she continued to fucking flog me over it via text.
Yeah, she had every right to, and she took that opportunity
She did take
and
that
relished it.
Yeah, she did.
Relished every second of it.
She did.
Yep.
Because she's a sadist. It's fine. So I called her and apologized again, and then we had a really great conversation. But shout out to her because she just graduated from, first of all, she passed SWAT selection.
Yep.
And passed SWAT school. So I'm fucking stoked for her. So
she's now as cool as Colin Farrell and LL Cool J.
Fucking for sure. Probably cooler than both of them.
Do you think they get kicked out if they make SWAT jokes while they're going through selection?
I don't know. Apparently she said they got hazed for eating bananas in the classroom because the instructors were like making dick sucking references. So it was fucking, that's good.
So that's in line with the movie.
Yeah, that is in line with the movie. It's in line with the movie. So yeah, but shout out to her. She's amazing. Absolute fucking top shelf human. We love her to death. Yeah, so we did get reprimanded. But shout out to all the amazing women in my life and that love the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are rad. Yeah, and speaking of that, we have from one of our female listeners, our favorite communist in Canada. She sent us some questions. Good ones, too. Her questions are always good. Like, I fuck with her about being a commie. And I think she's less of a card-carrying commie than she used to be because of all the fucking crazy shit that's going. She lives in Canada. Shout out to all my Canadian peeps. She always has very thoughtful, good questions. So, and she's a huge fan of yours. She's like, Alex, better be on the fucking Weapons for Wednesday. I'm like, okay, relax.
Fine, Jesus.
He's going to be on there. So her first question was, what is your cool guy shit, goal, something or other you are enthused about or you want to do, buy, learn? Can be a lifetime or near future goal. What's yours?
Man, cool guy things.
Yeah.
Like,
what is your cool shit, cool guy, goal, something you are enthused about, you want to do, buy, learn? Can be lifetime or near future. I mean, I have a lot of those.
yeah, we were like talking about rally school the other day.
Yeah.
And then the other day we were talking about the heli pilot thing in Kona.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That'd be pretty rad.
Yeah. Well, what is yours? Have you given this much thought?
I mean, the skydiving thing kind of intrigues me, but also like,
It's fun. It's awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
I can tell you
believe
right
that.
now, it'll change your life.
But also I think I'd probably have as much fun like going to like the Porsche driving school and learning how to drive a track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that could also be really
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, both of us fucking nerded out super hard on that Dirtfish video. And the guy that owns Dirtfish, if you guys don't know about this, Dirtfish is like this rally driving school that's up in Washington. Go check it out. Dirtfish.com. I don't know. Push the fucking Google button.
Dirtfish Rally.
He took a fucking Subaru and put a Ferrari.
He's not the owner.
Oh, he's not the owner.
No, he's just one of the instructors.
Okay, but he took a fucking. He races. Him and his girlfriend are race.
Yeah,
She's his
together.
navigator.
Yeah.
She's a badass driver too, but she navigates for him. He put a fucking Ferrari engine
Yep.
in his Subaru.
Yep.
If you guys haven't seen this, go check it out on.
It's amazing. It
go,
sounds
go watch
so
it on
good.
YouTube. It is fucking amazing. But I've wanted to go to Dirtfish and do their like a rally course for a really long time. But it's like, I think it's like $4,000 for a 3-day course. So
Right.
every time I think about spending that amount of money, I'm like, I start doing gun math, and I'm like, oh, $4,000 is halfway to an A&P VS fucking 10.
Yeah, it is.
Or not 10, fucking 26. The clip-on. Why did I say 10? God, that's fucking old as shit.
10's old.
Yeah, that's what
We're on like 27s and
yeah.
32s
That's
and
what we're using
35s
in
or
fucking
whatever.
Iraq. God damn, that was a fucking senior PTSD moment.
No, I would say like long-term cool guy goal things would be to do that trip that we're talking about where you like go buy a vehicle in India and you drive north up through Nepal into Tibet, over east, and then down through like Cambodia, Vietnam, and then you end at like the homies beach house in Thailand.
That's a fucking badass.
Like the amount of money that I would pay to go skydive, Like, could you accomplish like certain legs of that journey, right?
Yeah, but I would think it would be badass to do the whole fucking thing in one shot.
Oh, it would be in one shot.
I mean, that's an amazing trip.
No, you do it for like the year it would take or whatever.
Yeah, that would be badass.
And because I'm Chinese, I get to drive in China without a guide, hopefully. So
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to.
because I've done like little portions of it, right? Like I've done the North India, I've done Nepal, I've done like the hikes in Tibet, but doing that whole loop in like an OG like Land Cruiser or Land Rover
Right.
would be really cool.
Would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think, has there been anybody else that's done it?
I'm sure someone's done it.
I haven't seen
Like there's
them.
a lot of like Land Rover, clubs in Asia
Yeah.
that probably do it. But the whole linking through the border into Tibet is difficult.
What's it called? What's the fucking shit that Yvonne Chouinard did where they drove from Southern California all the way down to Cape Horn? What's that called? Is that called the Baja? Or what's the fucking intercontinental fucking highway? What's the route called? There's a name for it. Where you drive from basically Southern California all the way down to the tip of South America, which is Cape Horn.
Yeah. Is it Independence Highway?
I don't remember what it's called.
One of those.
Anyway, I would like to recreate that. Like him and his buddies before they started. It was him and the dude from North Face that just died. Get one of the founders from North Face. It was funny, because I think he did it with Royal Robbins. He did it with the guy's name's Tom or something like that. God, I'm getting old. I used to know all these guys by memory. Yvonne Chouinard, founder of Patagonia, founder of Royal Robbins. His name's Royal Robbins, and the dude that founded North Face, Tom something. Watch, it's gonna be like Bill or Bob or something. We can be completely fucking...
North Face founder Douglas Tompkins.
Tompkins, yeah, that's why.
Tom
Yep. Something. No, Tompkins. Doug Tompkins, yeah. They all jumped in a van together in 1969, a VW van.
Yeah.
And they drove from Southern California all the way from Southern California through Central America, through Mexico, through Central America, down to South America, and took the West Coast through Chile and all the way down into Argentina and went into Cape Horn.
Yeah.
So
that would also be fun.
I want to do that. I think that would be amazing.
But I want to drive the Himalaya loop.
Yeah, that sounds amazing as well.
Like you could even go north, India to Pakistan.
Yeah, those are
all the way up,
Those are big kid. I mean, I'd stay the fuck out of Pakistan.
I would go to Pakistan because there's really good skiing there.
You know what else there's there? A whole
There's
country.
terrorists all over.
I mean, you might get away.
You're more afraid of going to Pakistan than Tibet.
Yeah. Yes, I am, because I've been to Pakistan.
Yeah. But
are you trying
to? But Gulmarg and Kashmir are a little different from Peshawar.
Are you trying to fucking tell me that you trying to sell me on a bill of goods that Tibet is more violent than fucking Pakistan?
No, I think the consequences of
being white
in
Tibet are more
getting caught driving around in a Land Rover without a guide in Tibet.
Well, I have a guide. You're him.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I mean,
this white guy, I don't know. He took the picture of Mao down from the wall.
Oh no! You kill him. Kill Guaylo. Yeah, fucking bad. That'd be bad. Okay, well.
No, but big kid goals. That would probably be like a big kid cool guy goal.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like smaller shit. Going to the rally school at Dirtfish. I want to do that at some point. I want to get my.
If you didn't listen to the last podcast, I really want to take a class from him.
Right. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. That's my goal for the year,
yeah.
to take a Todd Hodnett class.
Yes. Which we're going to do this summer.
Hopefully.
Yeah, he invited us down, so we're going to go do that this summer. Maybe shoot some content for Night Force, providing that Sarah can connect us with the right people. Shout out to Sarah, who works at Night Force. She's the digital marketing person. You guys should email her. You know what I should do is I should put her email out and tell them, her work email. Everybody should email her and tell her that she should fund our YouTube channel, because we want to shoot YouTube content and do a big, huge, fun YouTube series of us going and shooting with Todd, because he's fucking amazing. And if you guys didn't listen to the podcast with Todd Hodnett, you should definitely do that, because he's like ballistic Jesus. Okay. Any major belief or opinion that you've completely changed your mind on in the last few years? What and why? I wouldn't say in the last... God, I'm not going to be popular for this. I'm debating on whether I should even talk about this.
You're like, man, I really like blue crayons now.
The red ones, I just outgrew them.
It was a phase.
It was a phase I went through. The blue ones are amazing. Yeah, I'm just going to get into it because I believe in authenticity and I believe in transparency. And so I'm going to live by those standards that I've set. And that's what the podcast is about. So why people come to us is because they get a no shit, unfiltered, unbiased opinion, especially on Weapons Free Wednesday. So I'm going to talk about it. It hasn't been recently, but my Christianity, like I've just never connected with it. Like it was shoved up my ass when I was a kid by my family. And, it's one of the sticking points that I have with my family. I've talked about this a few times on the podcast. I don't speak to my family because they're fucking kind of right-wing extreme fucking lunatics. And I just can't, they roll super hard in the Christian paint and they just believe that Jesus is fucking responsible and is the end all be all and just is everything to everyone at every time. And every time somebody talks like that, it turns me off. And I think of I feel this emotional shutdown inside of myself when I feel people like really going hard in the fucking Jesus is the fucking beginning and the end and the most amazing
like any monotheistic religion.
Or that too, yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, like my eyes glaze over the same shit when people start talking about how amazing their religion is. But specifically for me, from my experience and like what I was indoctrinated in as a kid, like just Christianity is just not my thing. Like my position on things is I am spiritual. I do believe in the spirit. I do believe in soul. I do believe in like we are fucking energy occupying a fucking little meat covered skeleton made out of stardust. And I do believe that there's probably something next. Maybe we're fucking aliens, that are fucking playing a video game right now and our avatars are this fucking plane of existence. Who the fuck knows? I know that's an extreme example, but I'm basically just trying to come up with examples on like what, I think.
Right, but all religions by definition are extreme. Like you can't have religious extremists. Like religion is extreme.
Right.
By definition, it is. There's no way that any human can put wholeheartedly that much faith and trust into something that is so intangible.
Right.
Like, just by that definition, it's an extreme thought.
This is going to be a very unpopular opinion.
And are there good things about it? Totally.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like,
there's right. There is some good things about it. And here's where I will caveat what I'm going to say next by saying I have a high amount of respect for everyone that wants to practice their religion. I'll even sit and I will listen as a good student and not talk shit and not tell you you're a fucking idiot. I will actually take it seriously. I will be a good student. I will fucking learn whatever I can. I will be open. I will be objective. But there's just so many hard questions that like nobody has been able to ever answer them. Like one of which being like, God, Jesus, take the wheel. God's got a plan. Fucking, he's in charge. He's in control. God mandates everything in my life. Like, he's the one. I just serve him. Well, okay, well then, dipshit, why did he give you free will? Why do you have fucking free will? If this man in the sky, to quote George Carlin,
why are there choices?
Yeah, why do you have choices? Why? Well, God gave man free will. Well, why? If he's the one that's driving the goddamn bus and he's got the fucking plan, why
aren't you just like a meat puppet along for the ride where you can't make any choice?
Right.
Just the screen comes for you like a Disney ride.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many people I've like thrown this shit back at that want to like proselytize to me, and I'm like, or preach to me, and I'm just like, I ask them these really hard questions, and they're like, well,
but they're not hard questions.
Yeah, they're just people can't answer them. So
what I think my favorite one is was it on the third day he created the light in the heavens and everything, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So like, if light happened on the third day, how did he know 3 days had passed?
Yeah.
And people are like, fuck you and your science.
Yeah, right. Right. Correct.
If light happened on the third day, how do you know 3 days have passed?
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Right. Because he's God. He knows everything.
Yeah, he's God. Okay, cool.
All right. Cool. Well,
Does he know about all the little kids getting raped in the Vatican?
Right.
Or like all the churches across the world?
Yeah, or how about the little kids like my cousin that developed fucking leukemia when he was 9 years old and fucking died?
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Stephen Fry's quote about that was amazing. What would you say to God? Why are you putting cancer and making flies that eat babies' eyeballs?
Yeah.
He's a sick man if he's a god.
Right. Yeah, so it's questions like that people can't answer. So, yes, I realize we were shit-talking, and if you were offended by this, like, okay, I'm not going to apologize because I don't give a fuck. But...
then go tell your God. Go pray.
Yes.
Make you feel better.
Correct. I just think that any major religion, like, I can't... It does not resonate in my soul. I have had more spiritual connection in a Maloka in fucking South America, drinking some tea. I have like truly connected to the divine. I know I have seen and experienced things on a soul level, and that's why I'm spiritual, and I have a fucking strong understanding of what's next. But I largely think that people like really attach themselves super hard to religion because they're very fearful people.
And it does provide an order and a moral compass for people.
Mm-hmm. But if you're fearful and you're weak-minded and you can't understand, that your God may not love you and may not give a fuck about you if he does or she does exist. I don't know if we can apply gender to a God, but like if you can, like he or she may not give a fuck about you. So keep that in mind. And that evidence is, to me, is very relevant because we've got disease and we've got famine and we've got war and we've got all these things that just kill the fuck out of people. And if your God loved you so much and cared about you so much and you were indeed his children, he might protect you a little bit more from evil things. If you're so powerful, why do you let Satan run amok and just do whatever the fuck he wants and perpetuate evil everywhere?
Yeah, well, he talked shit and got kicked out, so honestly, like, he sounds like way more fun.
He might sound like a guy who's like a disruptive thinker. Like,
yeah, free will. No, you're not allowed.
Wait, what? Why are we doing it like this? Hey, God, why are we doing it like this? This just doesn't seem like it's the way we should be doing it.
I don't want you in my club now.
You're fucking out of here. Lucifer, you're fucking out of here. Fucking out of here. Go down and live with your fucking cunts down there in fucking purgatory.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll give you your own realm to lead over.
Correct.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I know we're being complete assholes right now, but realistically, like, that's the thing I would say that I changed my thought process on and that I disconnected from was, like, organized religion and, like, specifically Christianity. Because my mom forced us to go to church, which I think just the rebellious nature in me that exists since the time I popped out of the vagina was, I'm disruptive and I'm just anti-authoritarian and anti-establishment. And I just think it rubbed me the wrong way, like being forced to go sit and listen to people talk about things that, like, one, at that age when I was a young kid, I didn't give a fuck about. I wanted to be outside playing.
Yeah, no reference.
I did not give a flying fuck when I was a kid about.
Cool story. There was a flood, and like they put the animals on the boat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Where are the two animals?
Here's some crayons. Draw fucking some sheep going onto the ark, and put some rainbows and here's some glittery stars.
Here's a bunch of Arabs that went through the desert on camels to go talk to the other Arab who's now depicted as a white guy.
Yeah, correct. Oh, God. I know we're going to get a shit ton of DMs from this fucking podcast, but it's okay. I'll answer your questions. I'll own up to everything that we've said here because I will. And everybody knows that. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that's kind of where I've fallen off. Yeah. People, be responsible for yourselves. Be critical thinkers. Question authority. Question tradition. Question things. God damn it. Question things. Okay? Let's see. People are like, he's going to hell. He's going to hell.
Sweet. All my friends are going to be there, and we're going to have a great-ass time.
I'm going to have a great-ass time. Soria and I are going to fucking share. We're going to share an apartment. We're going to be flatmates on the Lake of Fire.
She's going to be my legal down there.
Right. Correct. Soria's going to fucking be my legal. She's going to be my lawyer. She's going to do all my fucking...
Did I talk shit?
Yeah.
Talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Shout out to Soria, our South African fucking princess. We love her to death. She sends the best memes. Good job, Soria. Love you.
Yeah.
Let me see here. You are now the omnipotent ruler of your own corner of the Western landscape, Utah, Wyoming. What 3 things do you do to preserve nature? Okay. Well, let's just say yes. The chances of me becoming the warlord of Wyoming in the event of a fucking apocalypse or a complete collapse are actually pretty fucking good. I already have a plan in place in order to, like, take over the whole fucking western half of the state. So, in the event that an apocalypse happens. So, What do I do to preserve nature? I don't think I'm going to need to do anything to preserve nature because I think enough human beings are going to die that we
By their own accord.
of their own accord, or of me fucking wiping them out, that we're not going to have to worry about. Like, nature's just going to take care of itself. Everything's just going to it's going to fall back to a natural state of homeostasis.
Yeah. But like, gotta raise the chickens so you can get eggs, so you can bake and do all the other things and all the other egg and the cows.
Yeah, but I mean, she's saying, what do you do to save or preserve nature?
Oh, to preserve nature? I think removing humans completely is probably
me killing everybody that shows up on my hunting grounds is what's going to be a good start to that.
Yeah, but like, if Fish and Game doesn't feed, and we have a harsh winter, and like half the elk population dies, that doesn't help.
Okay, well, that is very true. But I think what will happen over time,
because that is the argument for Fish and Game, is it preserves and creates better numbers, and
it does all those things.
Keeps everything in level.
Yep, it does all those things. So yeah, I mean, okay, so that's a good point. We continue to like run the elk refuge. If I'm the warlord, if I'm the warlord here, then I can.
Because that's like 8 months worth of food.
Yes.
For the amount of people that are under
my command. Yeah. If I'm gonna continue to command, and like grocery stores are no longer a thing, and we've got to grow gardens, and we've got to like manage the elk population, and we've got to do those things, and then we continue to run the elk preserve.
Cows.
The National Elk Refuge.
Cattle.
Yes, we continue to feed cattle.
Where do you get grain if you grass fed? But
yeah. So what I do is I keep all the ranchers in the area alive.
Oh yeah, they'll be worth their weight in gold. And they know it.
Yep, they know it. So we'll keep them alive. We'll keep them protected. We'll continue to run the elk refuge.
I mean, so just like real estate agents.
Yeah.
Don't need them.
We turn the fucking high school.
Bankers don't need them.
Yep. Don't need bankers. Don't need them.
Lawyers, we're not in hell yet, so we don't need them.
No. We're going to keep Soria, though. I promised her that we wouldn't kill her. We wouldn't Thunderdome her. She gets to work in the garden and then give wristies to the guard force.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what she gets to do. What was your most frightening experience in the last 5 years? How did you handle it? And does it still affect you? Ooh, my most frightening experience in the last 5 years.
Probably when that acorn hit that car.
And I emptied a magazine into it.
Pow!
No. I would say in the last 5 years, I mean, that's a story. Fuck, okay. Probably when I was, when I had my fucking my first backcountry life-threatening emergency in 2019. In early, like it was late May, it was June. Was it June? I think it was June. It was early June 2019. I was backpacking we went up Little Granite to Big Granite, and then went up on Fox Creek Pass and went down into Death Canyon. And it was early season, so there was way more snow than we were anticipating. And we did some post-holing.
Yeah.
And then we went down into Death Canyon because we were doing this huge loop. It was come in on Little Granite, come out on Death Canyon.
Yeah.
And we got torrentially soaked by snowmelt waterfalls running down on top of us. Lost the trail for a bit, found the trail again. And then when we had come around and we were dropping down, and this was a 23-mile loop that we had originally planned to do in 2 days. But then we were just so wet and cold and miserable when we got to the part where Death Canyon turns and comes back west to the trailhead.
Yeah.
Drops down above Phelps and then comes out the trailhead. And this is all in Teton National Park. I'm talking about Teton National Park here. We got channelized under canopy coming down the canyon in some really bad, deep snow. And we were just following the snowmelt. So we were like in shin deep, ice cold snowmelt water trying to hike down the canyon. And we came to this place where there was a little waterfall. And like we were literally in ear deep snow. Snow was up to our ears. And the only way to get down with packs on was to go down this little snowmelt runoff. And it came to this 45-degree fucking running over rocks that were very slick. And so I had trekking poles and I was trying to like pick my way down. and my friend Dana, who is Dana Gleason of Mystery Ranch fame, one of the heirs to the Mystery Ranch empire, and a great human and an amazing pack designer. He was actually podcast number 1. So if you want to listen to his podcast and you want to listen to our first podcast, you're going to have to go back like 2 years through, 120 episodes back to number 1. But great dude. Was good to reconnect with him at SHOT Show this year. But him and I were hiking together, and he was ahead of me. He went down before me, and he made it down okay. And I slipped and fell getting down, and I fell forward at a 45-degree angle about 8 feet, and my trekking pole got caught in a tree root, and then I rammed into it with my knee wearing about a 45-pound pack, and I blasted my left kneecap right off. Severed my patellar tendon and blasted my kneecap right off.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to fall face first down this little fucking snowmelt waterfall and land in the pool of fucking ice cold water.
Yeah,
that was
because
at the
fuck
bottom.
you.
Yeah, because fuck you. Not only do you not have a kneecap now, but now
You're wet and cold.
Now you're completely submerged in fucking snowmelt water, which is ice cold. It's 33, 34 degree water. So did my little cold plunge. That was fucking awesome. And then quickly realized what had happened because I knew immediately what had happened because I'd had the same injury in my right knee a couple years before that, and knew that I was fucked and I was not walking anymore. So he tried to help me up, and I could not do it. I had to like swim across this little snowmelt pond, and then like climb out and like scurry my way up on my belly up this little like embankment and get underneath this tree where there was no snow. And it was just like wet ground. And he proceeded to, diagnose me, and like we pulled up my pants, and of course my fucking kneecap was like just
Pulled off to the side.
It was jello flopping around inside my fucking, it was not attached to anything. And so I was like, yeah, kneecap's fucked. I'm not hiking out. I was like, you got to go get search and rescue and get me out of here. And he's like, okay. And so he took off immediately. And this was about at 6:45 p.m.
Yeah.
The temperature was already like, it was 36 degrees, but when we did the little environmental recce before we went off on the trip, like we knew it was going to be a low of like 26 to 28 degrees up there because we had originally decided to camp. And then when we got wet and cold and miserable, we were just like, nope, we're going to finish this and hike all the way out. And we're going to go to Dornan's and drink beer and laugh about this.
Nope. Mountains had other plans.
So sitting there, I have no kneecap on my fucking left knee now, and I'm soaking wet, and the temperature is dropping to hypothermic conditions. So luckily, I had waterproofed the shit in my backpack, and I did have a full pack of like stuff that I'd planned to like I planned to stay up there the night. So I had things, luckily. Luckily, this wasn't like a day trip where I was like,
No, yeah, no.
I'd be dead probably right now if that was the case. So I proceeded to shift into, even though I was in a massive amount of pain, I shifted in. I had enough wherewithal to be like, okay, cool. It's time to shift into first self-aid. It's self-aid time and shift into first aid mode. So first thing I was like, I had to do the assessment. Okay, I'm not mobile right now. I'm soaking wet. The temperature is dropping. Hypothermia is my top concern. Not my fucked up leg. Hypothermia.
Yeah, that's
is
what's
now,
gonna get you.
Yeah, like yeah. I've got exactly probably 32 minutes to get out of these fucking soaking wet clothes and start recovering my body heat that I've lost.
And you're like, I'm gonna start a fire. I don't care about the ticket.
Yeah, well, I had no fire making capability.
Well, you learned that lesson, didn't you?
Yeah. So what
Not even a lighter.
Nope. Had no fire making capability. So what I did was I immediately like stripped down, and then I put on a dry insulation layer. I broke into my pack. I got into my waterproofed shit, and I got out my insulation layer, put on my Atom LT. Shout out to Arc'teryx for making the best fucking puff coat known to mankind. Put on my Atom LT hoodie, put on my beanie, I dried off my head as much as I could, and then put on my warm, dry beanie, put on my insulation layer, and then I immediately broke out my jet boil and boiled some water, and I ate a hot meal. And this was all just sitting under a tree.
Yep.
With no kneecap on. And then I'm like, okay, cool. well, I know my kneecap is fucked. I've had this injury before. I know exactly what to do. So now it was splint the leg time. After I had like gotten dry and I had gotten a hot meal into me, I was like, cool, it's time to now, I've dealt with best I can. I've dealt with the hypothermia situation. I now need to splint my leg. So I broke my trekking pole down into pieces, my trekking poles, broke them into pieces, pulled the baskets off, and then used the sections of my trekking pole to and a whole roll of medical tape of athletic tape, because I always carry a roll of athletic tape or medical tape.
But no lighter.
I had no lighter, and because you can't have fires in the park.
Doesn't matter, dude.
Right? I know.
Doesn't matter.
I know. That's what you get for playing by the rules. So I immediately shifted into splinting my leg, and I splinted my leg up, and then I took my wet socks off, and I took my boots and my wet socks off, no, I didn't do that yet. I did not do that yet. I took my ground tarp out, and I climbed up underneath the tree that had no snow underneath it, and I put my ground tarp down. Then I took out my thermarest pad. I blew up my thermarest pad, put my pad down on top of that, and then I broke out my sleeping bag, which was dry, and I put my sleeping bag down. Luckily, I was wearing like my cool silencer pants, which if you guys, shout out to Cool, little product plug for Cool. They make a pant called the Silencer that's like a 4-way stretch, lightweight, synthetic, and it just fucking dries super, super fast. And it's super flexible and like durable, amazing pants. If you don't have a pair, go check them out.
Yep.
And I'm not sponsored by them. I just love their product. So luckily I was wearing these like lightweight soft shell pants. So I got my thermarest down. I got my sleeping bag out. I put my sleeping bag down. It took me, this was the longest part of the equation, was like getting in my sleeping bag with a splinted leg. So I managed to finally get in my sleeping bag, which was a Mountain Hardwear, a Mountain Hardwear? It's a Spectre. It's a 0 degree Spectre. And I got into it, down bag, got into my bag. And so I had a dry top with my hoodie, dry head at this point with my beanie on. This is what I did. This is where the sock changing came into play. I put on dry socks. I pulled my boots off and I put on dry socks.
Good Marine. Change your socks out.
I changed my socks and put on dry socks because I knew if I climbed in my sleeping bag with wet socks because I didn't know how long I was going to be there for, I was going to be miserable. My toes would maybe get frostbite. So I was like, I pulled my wet socks off, and that took a long time too. So the first hardest thing was
you had to bend over, and you're
right. I had to.
People don't realize your ligaments in your knees are connected to everything else.
Yes, correct. So I had this like splinted leg, and I leaned forward. I actually had to take a section of my trekking pole, the basket. I had to take the basket section, like the very bottom section of my trekking pole with the basket on it and the little carbide tip, and I used that to like pull my sock down over my heel and pull it up because I couldn't reach it with my hand. Because the ground that I was on was like sloping down, and with that injury and my legs splinted the way it was, I could not reach all the way down and pull my sock on. So I had to use my trekking pole to like get my sock on my injured leg. Then I pulled my other dry sock on. Then the second longest part of the equation was getting into my sleeping bag. And so I get in my sleeping bag, I get zipped up, and I'm laying there. And then all of a sudden it dawns on me. It's June in Grand Teton National Park. It's bear season.
Yeah.
And it's spring.
Yeah.
And bears have just woken up from hibernation and they're starving.
May, June, May. Close enough.
It was June. It was the first week of
There's
June.
always bears up at Phelps.
So I quickly realized...
You had all your food trash from making your meal.
Yeah, I had all my food trash from making a meal laying next to me because I couldn't do anything with it. And then there I am with a splinted leg, like literally can't run, can't walk. Crawling is really, really fucking painful, like excruciatingly painful. Like any movements of my lower body are excruciatingly.
Yeah.
And so I am now laying in this fucking sleeping bag, which shout out to Megan, my friend Megan. She has, I've told her this story a few times. She loves this story. And she calls me, in her phone, I'm listed as Brian Bear Burrito. Because that's what I told her I thought of. Like while I'm laying there in my sleeping bag, I'm like, I'm a grizzly bear burrito right now. Mm-hmm. There's no fucking running. There's no getting away. Like if a grizzly comes up on me right now, I'm absolutely fucked.
You can't move.
I can't move.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be a fucking grizzly snack. Mm-hmm. And so I laid
Or
there.
they'll just like look at you and then move on.
Yeah, probably not. Like they have a sense for like wounded animals, I think, and like they know if you're fucking injured, and then that just makes you snack time. So I laid there and I waited for myself to become a fucking grizzly bear snack. And luckily, my friend Dana, D3, he got down, he wrangled search and rescue, and they came back up and they got me. But that was 8 hours later.
I believe that.
So I got injured at about 6:30 to 6:45 p.m., and they did not get to me until 2 a.m. 2:30 a.m. I think it was when they got to me. So they got to me and pulled me up on another higher piece of terrain where there was no snow, where there was a break in the trees, so the sunlight had been hitting it and had melted all the snow off. And so they set my tent up. They put me in my tent in my sleeping bag and then shot me up with drugs, which was fucking fantastic because I laid there in a massive amount of pain. As you can imagine, like not having a kneecap on your left knee, it's not very comfortable. And the amount of swelling that comes with that is pretty good. So they drugged me up, and then they brought the helicopter in at about 8:30 a.m. So I laid in my tent, and I was actually pretty comfortable. I was warm, I was comfortable, and I was on drugs, so I felt great.
But you also realize, like, this is the next 8 months worth of rehab.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
Oh, that was what I was going through in my head. It was like, because I'd already had that. I'd already had that injury in my right knee, and it took me a year to recover. So then I was just like, oh, fuck, my life is fucked for the next year. I'm going to be on crutches again. And I was on crutches for a long time. Fucking physical therapy sucked. But anyway, they brought the helo in, and they dropped a basket down, and I got a basket ride out of the park. And they landed in, where did they land? They landed close to fucking Lupine Meadow someplace. And they had an ambulance there, and they put me in the ambulance, and then they gave me an ambulance ride to the hospital. And I got to the emergency room, and they analyzed me. And then the fucking idiots, like, shot me. They fucking drugged me up super hard. And then they were like, yeah, crutch your ass over. Like, they didn't put me in a wheelchair and take me to the clinic because Teton Orthopedic is right next to the hospital. They were like, yeah.
You did this to yourself. Crutch your ass over.
Yeah, so I crutched over. And I was so fucking high on drugs, like I couldn't find the clinic. I couldn't find the door to get into the clinic. And I literally, I was fucking high as shit. I could barely crutch.
It's like 50 yards.
Yeah. Couldn't find it. I was so stoned I couldn't find it. I was so fucking high on opiates that I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then a lady came outside because she saw me like looking in all of the windows. And she's like, sir, are you okay? Do you need help? I'm like, I need to teach on orthopedic. And I could barely talk. And she's like, oh yeah, are you okay? And I was like, I just came from the emergency room. They're like, oh, okay. And so then a really nice lady from like in the building came out with a wheelchair, put me in the wheelchair, and wheeled me into Teton Orthopedic and delivered me to my doctor. And I got seen, and then they got me in. They gave me more drugs, and then they told me to go home. And 2 days later, then I got in and I got operated on and got it fixed.
Yep.
So that was like my near-death story from... That was my most frightening experience. Like laying in that sleeping bag, like I think I was more scared, worried about like laying in that sleeping bag, worried about getting eaten by a grizzly bear than I ever was in combat. Like there was never a point in combat where I was that scared. Because I'm like, I am literally like in combat, I'm like, I have a gun, I have frags, I have GP charges on me, I can call for air, I've got a whole team of fucking pipe hitting motherfuckers with me, like I have a fucking Glock with me, I have frags, I have everything. I have everything to defend myself and go forth and conquer. When I was laying up there on that slope, completely helpless, I was like, I'm fucking helpless. Like literally, if a bear comes for me right now, there's nothing I can do except lay there and get eaten.
Yell at it and thwack it with your toothpick of a broken ski pole. That's
I would have been fucked.
Bear burrito.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that was a long story. Any concerns about U.S. military fitness, given all the stories, base conditions, poor leadership, lowered standards? What would you like to see change? Oh God, I don't think we've got time for that. I mean, we're at an hour right now. We like to usually keep these episodes at an hour. That's a long. I could fucking rant on that one.
It's very simple.
It's
very simple.
I would like to see
don't
things,
lower standards.
Right, don't lower standards. I'd like to see things go back to like how they were when I was there. When I was in the U.S. military, like we fucking warfighting was the fucking priority. Team building and warfighting was the priority. It wasn't fucking woke culture fucking bullshit. It wasn't fucking DEI fucking, professional military education, admin stand downs to talk about how important people's feelings are if they want to be trans. Like
what uniform you can wear with what outfit.
Yeah, like can I wear makeup and uniform? Like none of that shit existed. Like the stupid shit that exists now in our stupid fucking leadership. And the worst that I've seen it in is the Navy. The Navy is the fucking worst about the DEI bullshit. We just need to have a return to fucking a focus on warfighting, And the whole fucking the force modernization shit, the force mod plan for, force modernization 2030 for the Marine Corps, like getting rid of snipers, dumbest fucking thing ever. From an operational standpoint, like removing snipers from the Marine.
We did this twice already. It didn't work.
It didn't work. And we had to return to it. So like, once again, those who do not pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And not only that, from like a recruiting standpoint, recruiting numbers recruiting numbers are already we're 30% under meeting goal. And you're going to fucking remove
one of the cooler jobs that everyone wants off the table.
Right, like snipers to us are like Navy SEALs for the Navy. Like
yes.
Fucking Marines, like people want to come be Marine snipers.
Uh-huh.
So like why would you remove that arrow from the quiver from an operational standpoint and from a recruiting standpoint? It's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen.
Well, pretty soon they're going to have to ask permission before they can kill someone.
I mean, that already happened.
No, like
go ask Andrew Vargas about that.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I kill you right now?
I mean, it's fucking,
you don't consent? Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucking stupid. Yeah. Okay. I'm not fucking touching that anymore because I could sit and rant. I could rant about that whole topic for another hour. Don't flex on standards. Okay. This whole fucking thing of putting chicks in fucking infantry units is the dumbest fucking idea we've ever had. Not because I'm sexist and I don't think girls can do it. It's just a distraction for men. You put 2 or 3 hot, fucking, really capable, amazing fucking women in a fucking unit, it's just it's a distraction. Because every meat-eating little savage from private to fucking E7 wants to bang that. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Men are wired to do 2 things genetically: kill and fuck. That's our genetic predisposition. That's what we've evolved from. Is men are wired for 2 things: killing and fucking. So when you put really fucking fit, hardcore dudes into a fucking unit, and it's their job to go kill the fuck out of everything they see, and that is enforced in them, okay? Mission of the Marine Corps Rifle Squad: to locate and close with and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver, or to repel the enemy's assault by fire in close combat. That's our mission statement. And now you take really fucking capable, amazing, hot, smart chicks and fucking put them at the fucking ground level with fucking dudes that are 17, 18, 19 years old? No. That's a distraction. It's stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. Now, can women perform brilliantly and way up the food chain at the human intelligence collection level and at the special operations level in certain capacities? Absolutely, and we've been doing that since World War II. That's the other side of this argument where I see that like people are like, oh, we're putting chicks can go to Ranger and SEAL training. Yes.
But what if they're not hot?
Well,
and we're all for equality, so they pass all the same standards that the boys do.
Okay, well.
But if they're not hot, then it's okay because you don't want to fuck them.
No, dudes will still want to fuck them. Okay, dudes will still want to fuck them.
Is this like the she's a deployment 6?
Yes. When you get deployed to a fucking dark corner of the world and you haven't fucking seen a girl, and then you've got that
I don't know
girl in your squad that's fucking...
Maybe don't think with your penis. It's worked for shield maidens. It's worked for Russian snipers in World War II.
Those are completely different circumstances. Also, okay, they're 17, 18, 19 years old.
They weren't 17, 18, 19 in thermal. You're an old man back then.
You're not going to fucking tell dudes that are 17, 18, 19 years old not to think with their dicks.
No, they're going to try it, and then she's probably going to, like, lop their balls off or stab them, and then
I hope so.
it self-corrects. That's how it used to work, right?
I fucking hope so. Yeah, that's how it used to work. Like the shield maidens.
Oh, come here, shield maiden. Whoop-op.
Yeah.
You lost 5 teeth. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Maybe I should not open my mouth.
Yeah. Correct. But yeah, I think it's a distraction at the infantry level. Put women at the special operations level, absolutely. Put them in the intelligence collection effort, absolutely. They flourish there.
Air Force. Fucking
Fucking combat.
brilliant. Great fighter pilots.
Amazing fighter pilots. Putting them in a foxhole with a machine gun next to a fucking 19-year-old dude that fucking just wants, like, can't, he's just there to kill, and then he looks over and there's a fucking piece of ass there, he's going to want to fuck it. Sorry, he just is. Okay? That's just how it is. So I would say no to that. I would say no. That's what I would change about the military. Okay? Return to standards. Return to a focus on warfighting, and let's like fucking let's go burn that DEI book and like put women back in like really high roles that they're suited well for instead of like in a foxhole with a 19-year-old with a machine gun.
There are roles that women excel at. Let them play to that versus trying to make them be the same as a boy.
Right, correct. What is the difference between a war crime and genocide? How do you define each?
Depends who won.
True story.
It's fucking true.
I mean, completely true story. Yeah, a war crime and genocide. I mean, I have a very sad...
Allies won. Holocaust, war crime.
Right.
Jewish commit war crimes.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have a very differing opinion on this. You're very critical of what the Jews are doing inside Palestine right now, and that's fine. That's.
I'm not critical of it.
I just think
I'm just critical of Israel in general.
Right. I think
they have every right to do what they're doing.
Okay, yes, they have a right to. They have a right to defend themselves. I happen to be like on that team. I'm pro IDF, but between a war crime and a genocide, how do you define each? I mean, this whole thing of a genocide, I would say, is more along the lines of like your whole purpose is to wipe out a particular ethnicity of human being
or group.
Whereas like, war is fighting war. Like war crimes,
like if a person in a military or government capacity commits it, it's a war crime.
I just don't understand.
It can also be a genocide. I
don't understand why we're trying to apply rules to war. The purpose of war is to go wipe out the other team in the most savage fucking way possible. Like go forth and conquer in the most savage way. Like overwhelming your opponent with massive force and wiping them the fuck out is the whole purpose of war. Okay, when diplomacy has degraded all the way down to war fighting, you're there to just wipe out the other team. That's it.
Well, then it's like, okay, just nuke everyone then.
No, because that causes fucking environmental effects that the rest of us suffer from.
Well,
fixing bayonets and charging across the fucking front lines and fucking putting a bayonet in every fucking person that's wearing the opposite uniform than you, then like that's not creating a nuclear fallout cloud that's going to make my hair fall.
Right, but if the whole purpose is to wipe them out, like who's to stop it? Like we used to firebomb cities. And kill like hundreds of thousands of civilians.
Right, yeah, we did that.
Is that a war crime or is that a genocide?
Right.
Is it a genocide just because they all happen to be German or Japanese?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no fucking lines.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what you originally said. Depends on who won and what team you were on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what is the difference between a war crime and a genocide? Who won and what does history have to say about it? Yeah.
There's another difference though.
What is it?
You can make fun of war crimes. You can't make fun of genocides.
That's true.
Somehow, like, our society's okay with that.
Right. Ask meme culture, people. Yeah. Go check out meme culture. Okay, and then now so that was the tee up.
I'm going to hell.
We are. We're definitely going to hell. This is the tee up. That was the tee up question. And now here's the fucking more specific question. Does the IDF's killing of civilians, especially women and children, fall into either category? Does the casualty counts come from the Palestinians? Okay, I've already touched on this a few times. Okay. The Palestinians, yes, are innocent people that are caught in between Hamas and the IDF. However, the innocent Palestinians also enable Hamas to run their government, make their calls, perpetuate these attacks on the Israelis, so they bear some responsibility on one side of the coin. You elected a terrorist organization to represent you politically and conduct attacks on Israel, you've pushed it too far. Now the Israelis have come back and said, fuck you. And are waging a campaign that now you're caught in the middle of because you have chosen to support a terrorist organization as your political action arm. Okay. So you bear responsibility for that. I'm sorry. You just do. Also, Hamas's playbook, based on their religious beliefs, they have a amount of the population that they're willing to sacrifice. It's their tactics. It's the fucking extremist Muslim terrorist playbook 101. Let's take innocent people and put them on a fucking military target. And when that military target gets bombed, let's fucking accuse them of fucking murdering innocent people. But realistically, they've died in jihad so that they've committed themselves.
Who cares if they've died? They get to go see.
Yeah, they go to paradise.
Yeah.
They go to paradise and they get their 72 virgins. They're martyred.
Right.
They are martyred.
It was for a good cause.
Yeah, it was for a good cause. So guess what? It's part of their playbook. Okay.
And is it unfortunate? Yes. And are there Palestinians that are like, Hamas brought this upon us?
They did.
They did.
Yeah. And you let them do it.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. And while we're talking about this subject, we can talk about how stupid our fucking country is, where we are giving...
Jesus. Yeah, right.
Remember what we heard on the radio today? So, and the other day when I fucking sprayed coffee through my nose while we were driving and listening to the fucking radio, to the news, we are airdropping humanitarian supplies into Palestine, which I guarantee you Hamas is intercepting and using to supply their troops. So they're not fucking, the civilians that need it are probably not getting it. Not only that, our dipshit Air Force fucking dropped half of it in the ocean. Now they're there with the fucking Navy trying to build a pier.
Yeah.
For humanitarian aid, which I guarantee you, here's what's going to happen. Yes, here's what Hamas is going to do. Hamas is going to fucking say, you, and you, go to the fucking pier, get the supplies from the U.S., bring it back to us. And they're going to fucking do that. They're going to comply. They're going to go get all the supplies. They're going to bring it back to Hamas. Hamas might toss them a fucking couple of biscuits and some water to keep them alive.
Yeah, or they'll steal it for themselves.
Or they're just going to use it to supply their own troops. So we're giving humanitarian supply. First of all, we're giving arms.
No, not all of it will go to Hamas. Right, but like we've done this playbook in Somalia and Sudan.
Correct.
And
right, this is, in case you guys don't know, this is how fucking Task Force Ranger got into a bunch of shit in Somalia. Like, this is...
We're going to do amphibious.
We did this whole playbook in Somalia where we were giving humanitarian aid to the fucking people that needed it, and the warlords were coming and stealing all the humanitarian aid, and people were starving anyway. And we were essentially providing logistics to our enemies. Okay? Once again, what did I say earlier? Those who do not pay attention to history are doomed to repeat it. We're doing the same thing. Only this time it's worse because we're giving arms, ammo, money to fund the war machine to the IDF.
Yep.
So on one side, the left hand is giving money to the IDF to go bomb the fuck out of people and like wipe out Hamas and fight the war. And on the other hand, we're giving supplies to Hamas to keep them fucking alive.
Under the guise of humanitarian
aid. Which I believe, like...
Yes, some of it will.
Some of it will hopefully help some people, some innocent Palestinians. Hopefully it will help them. But I know that the fucking Hamas is going to come to those innocent Palestinians that have gone to the drop zone and collected all the food and carried it back to their little bombed out fucking house that they're trying to survive in. And they're going to walk up with them on an AK and they're going to fucking take their shit.
Yep.
They're going to be like, give me your shit.
Yep.
And they're going to fucking take it.
Yep.
What the fuck are we doing? This is the leadership of America right now. This is the Biden administration, people. This is the fucking Biden administration. We're going to give money, arms, and ammo to the Israelis, and we're going to fund this fucking war effort. And on the other hand, we're going to give air quotations, humanitarian aid to the Palestinians so that we can feel good about ourselves. But what realistically is happening is Hamas is intercepting it and taking it to supply their troops. And if you believe anything else, you're a fucking retard. That's what's happening on the battlefield right now. I guarantee it. And your tax dollars are doing your tax dollars. So meanwhile, when you go to the grocery store and a jar of peanut butter is $10 fucking and a gallon of milk is fucking $11.50,
you can blame both sides.
You can fucking blame your fucking government for taking your money, running up inflation, sending it for efforts like this. Okay?
One side's like, we have to kill the terrorists. And the other side's like, army men bad.
Right.
They're innocent civilians. and then you finger point at each other, and then your bank account gets drained, and no one at home has jobs or food.
Correct.
It's okay.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're worried about Ukraine and we're worried about Israel, but meanwhile, we have this fucking massive crisis on the border.
Yep.
And that's what it is. It's a massive crisis. Like, we've had millions of fucking people that we have no idea where they come from, what their intention is, swarm across our border. Some of them have been Chinese, some of them have been Muslim, some of them have been from fucking terrorist countries.
Cartel influence.
Cartel influence, human trafficking.
Yep.
Like, the mess that the Biden administration has made in all of this. And then that fucking idiot wants to get on his podium and be like, Donald Trump's trying to take your freedom away. Oh, really? Because I think you tried to fucking ban guns how many times? So who's trying to take fucking freedom away? Who's giving all of our fucking money to Ukraine and Israel and running our fucking inflation through the roof? Who fucking refuses to secure our southern border and fucking have streamed all of these fucking illegals into our country, which the taxpayer, once again, is expected to pick up the bill?
Yeah, they get health insurance, but we don't.
Right.
The fuck?
Yeah. Americans don't get fucking governmental health insurance. Okay? Meanwhile...
but MS-13 that came across for the third time gets it.
Yeah, he gets a bus ticket and a hotel room and a stipend and...
Yeah.
Yep. And a court date. Hey, MS-13, make sure you show up for your court date, okay? That's a year and a half away.
Oh, okay.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is our country right now, people. So, yeah. Fucking super critical time in our history. Good job, Jay. You got me fucking wound up on that one. Okay. Well, people, we're at an hour and 20. We're going to go ahead and cap it right there. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Weapons for Wednesday. Wherever you're at on the globe, thank you for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up every week to listen to me fucking rant and put my opinions out on the airwaves. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. To all the ladies out there, happy International Women's Day. Keep kicking ass. To all my fans in all the other countries around the globe, I hope I can illuminate a little bit on our lunacy as Americans for you guys so you understand it better. Hope you guys are well. Have a great week, the rest of your week, and we will catch you next Monday on the Lone Element Podcast. Peace.
Anyone who runs is a VC. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined VC.